I'm live. I guess I'm live, folks. There's going to be a little bit delay, but I'm live. I don't know why I'm doing this talking thing because you don't want to hear me. I say this every time, and I ramble. But I do want to. Before I bring Elias on, I do want to thank Ace Bike Media right here. Look at those. Those are beautiful. I appreciate that. They sent this over. I got this today. Ace, I'm going to send you over some of my stickers. Don't know what you're going to do with them. You could throw them out. Don't put them on your refrigerator like I did. Your wives or girlfriends will be very unhappy with you. Also, I'm representing today. I just got it in the mail, Women's Mountain Bike Network and Dirt Life. Just want to throw that out there in case you guys need a t-shirt. You know, they're really comfortable and they're nice. Enough about me. Let's bring on who you want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias, Mr. Venikava MTB.
Hey, what's going on?
Now, am I saying that right? It's Elias?
It's Elias. Yeah, a lot of people see it and they say Elias, but it's Elias. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to messing it up.
No. You're good. And I respond to Elias as well. I respond to a lot of other things as well.
First off, you got a wonderful haircut there. Usually you got this coif.
Dude, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be on mountain bike Q&A. I gotta like spruce it up, right? And so I go to the barber and they like turn the seat around and then he's just like going. He's like, what do you want? I kind of want it like this. And I can't see what he's doing, right? Till the very end. And then like they swivel the chair around to kind of like, it's like the big reveal. And so they turn you around, then you see the mirror. And I was like, oh.
Trim means something different to you.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty specific. I was like, wow, I don't know if this is gonna grow back, man. I'm getting a little thin on top.
No, not in front of me, not on my watch, mister. Let's go over. Before we start, let's say hi. We got Trail Monster in the house. Hi, all.
Trail Monster, what's up, man?
Mega Anime Clan.
That's my son.
Oh, who's that?
My son Elijah, Mega Anime Clan. He's our 13-year-old. He's the oldest, and Valencia Cuber is our oldest daughter. I mentioned to you, we have a son and 3 girls, so we have a busy household.
And I asked you if you owned a TV when you told me that. Are you got twins, or are you just?
No, man, no twins. We've got 13, 9, 8, and 5-year-old.
Wow. Well, they're spread out pretty good.
Yeah, there was a good spread. So between Elijah and Olivia, those are the 2 oldest. April, my wife, she went back to school to get her master's, and so that was like the biggest spread because she was kind of busy. So, but after that, it was just kind of open season.
Adam Mock, such an incredible human being.
Oh my gosh,
really, like. He likes us, and seriously, okay. There's a certain point where I'm going to have to stop with the Adam Mock thing. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm kidding. No. But he created all this. Look at how beautiful my new background is.
I know. Am I the first one on this new background?
No. Oh, well, on this one, yes.
Yes.
This one, yes. The first time this was on there was a little bit of a mistake in it.
Oh, really? I didn't catch it.
But no, that's what I thought was great about it. What about this kid, this Mr. Uncaged?
Mr. Uncaged MTB, what's going on?
Look at that, Mick, Mountain Bike Nick, 316, looking fresh. Thank you. Oh, you're talking about that hair.
It's a little cold. No, but yeah, Adam Mock. I don't know if you know that he did the flyer for the group ride. On the 18th, the flyer that went out, I think it was last week. We put that out into the wild, and I just was so like blown away with, I kind of just said, hey, I would love for you to be involved. And he's like, hey, send me some info, send me some logos of who's involved. And then he just is like, bam. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so cool. And it was so hard because, so he sent me the logo, he sent me the flyer, and I had it for a couple of days, but we were waiting on a couple of people to get back to me to let me know whether they were in or they were out.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting on this thing, man, and I just wanted to put it out there, right? And I couldn't because I needed confirmation from like Farmer Boys and I think Spoke X, and there was a few others that I wasn't quite sure of yet. And so I had to wait. And oh man, it was so tough for me. I'm very impatient. Like when I have something in my hands that needs to be released, I want to do it.
You're like, gotta get it, gotta get it.
Got to get it out there. It was
Look at
hard
this,
for
dude.
me.
We got, dude, you're so huge. We got Finland in the house right now.
Finland? Who we got from
Fractured
Finland?
Rider, Finland. It's like yesterday there. Daniel from Trails and Ales saying, "What's going on? Cheers, brother."
Trails and Ales. He
He's
said,
got
yeah,
a
he
South
put out a
Florida
little
rider.
thing.
Trail
He's
pen.
got-
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
his page.
I know Joey Yates is on Kate. Joey, someone better give you one of my stickers, by the way. I sent out some stickers. Now we didn't have a lot of time beforehand, but Elias, there's this commenting thing that goes on. I try to get to that, but I will always stay focused on you. You are my main priority tonight.
No problem, man. I know this is a juggling act, and you do it so well.
No, I have so many problems. we got Run Bike Mike here. Mike Mitchell, what's going on, brother?
Run Bike Mike.
Okay, here we go. What's this? What is this here?
Your trails are amazing, Valencia Cuber. Oh, well, she should know. She was one of the builders.
And Trail Pimp, always Trail Pimp. What's your name? I hate to ask it like that, but
no, thank you, because I love Trail Pimp.
He's such a supporter of all of us. It's disturbing, and I love it.
And let me tell you that when I first decided to do the whole Venikava Nation thing, I was a little nervous about it. I just didn't know how people would, if they would kind of accept it and run with it. I was like, is this a little too pretentious? But like, you know, Adam has the flock and other people like Tony has his outsiders. And I'm like, man, I got to come up with something like that. Because every time I started a video, I was just like, you know, what's going on, guys, or something like that. And I thought, you know, what about Venikava Nation? And I thought, I don't know. And I just tried it. And like Trail Pimp like was on board day one. So like Trail Pimp is the Venikava Nation. What do they call the leader of our nation? The not master in chief, the
president.
Yeah, but what do they call him? He's the, come on, people,
commander in chief.
Yes.
Oh man, it's been a long day for both of us, I guess.
Trail Pimp is the commander in chief of Venikava Nation, man. He just
is it pronounced Medi?
Medi?
Yeah, his name is Medi. We're gonna leave that out there in the room. So Elias, let's go back. Let's not pause. Let's go back. Well, you started riding from what I could see, 2017.
2017 is the first time I got on a mountain bike. Yes, I used to ride BMX as a kid. I grew up in San Clemente. It's Orange County, right by the beach, and didn't really like the beach, but I have been fascinated by bikes ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And so we were out there, you know, building jumps and empty lots and grinding like the curbs at the local plazas.
Oh yeah, the 2x4 and a cinder block.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Love those days.
That was the stuff, man. And we used to be, I mean, summertime, I would leave the house as soon as the sun was up, and we were just on our bikes all over town and wouldn't come home until like the sun was down. I don't know how like we survived into adulthood.
How did we do it?
I don't know.
That amount of energy. I remember those days. I remember
no
those
cell phones, no internet.
Oh, that's how we did it.
No way for your parents to know if you'd come back that day. They just kind of hope you did.
Now, I love this. You know, I had the street lights. When the street lights came on, I had to be inside, or I could hear my dad yelling. That's the kind of neighborhood I grew up in. You could hear, Johnny. That was dinner time. That was my dinner bell. Did you have anything like that?
No. I was usually kind of too far from the house to be able to hear.
Yeah.
But once it started getting dark, you had to start heading home.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite bike growing up? I mean, as kids, we go through them like toilet paper. I mean, it's just we beat them up when we
Yeah.
were riding.
Yeah, we did. So my parents didn't have much money, and I wanted a bike for a long, long time. And they ended up getting me, like, my first BMX bike was this Diamondback that they bought me. I don't remember the model of it, but it was a Diamondback, and I was so stoked on it. And probably about 2 or 3 months in, like, I went off this jump and just completely endoed on the landing, and
Oh,
it bent the frame. And I was devastated, man. I was like, I know that they're not going to be able to buy me another bike. They like sacrificed so much to get me this one. And like from then on, it was all about like learning how to put a bike together and how to do it all yourself. So I ended up getting a frame from somebody else and just like took off all the parts off that
yeah.
Diamondback and put them on this new frame. And then like you kind of just trade up, you
Mhm.
trade up, you get new cranks or you'd get new handlebars and
Parts.
piece by piece. But that was a cool bike just because it was my first bike, my first BMX bike. Um, After that, I rode a lot of GTs. I was really big into flatland. Do you know what flatland is? Like a freestyle type of riding where you're doing all kinds of tricks with like you're on pegs and you've
Yeah,
got a
yeah, yeah,
drill.
yeah, yeah. I had a Revo 9.
Okay, yeah,
This was when I
yeah.
was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I was living in LA. And they
You
had
were out here.
pegs on the what?
You were out here
I lived
in
in
LA.
LA for a little over a year. I was on a TV show out there, and I would I would go to UCLA because I lived in Westwood, and UCLA was right there. And I would do some urban, what I call urban, just chaos,
Yeah,
riding
yeah,
the restraining walls, jumping off restraining walls, and riding the stairwells and stuff,
yeah,
the staircases at
yeah.
UCLA. It was awesome.
That's the stuff, man.
But you could do all that peg stuff. I could only do a little bit. I wasn't that good.
I wasn't that good either. It takes so much skill. Like what I remember, one of the guys that was like my idol, his name was Chad DeGroot, and he was a wizard on a flatland bike, doing like dump trucks and decades and like I
Good
don't know
Lord.
if they called it manualing, but where they would get up on the bike somehow and they would propel the bike with their foot. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And the frame is flying and coming back and they're
Yeah, you
jumping
kick it
over it.
back.
And oh man, that stuff like would just drive me crazy because I loved watching it. And I think the best I got was like being able to do a decade, but when both wheels are on the ground. And that was like the coolest thing I could do. But I never really learned how to. I think it's called scuffing. I never really learned how to scuff. It just takes so much balance and practice. And
All the words for all these little tricks,
I know,
names and stuff. So are
yeah,
you? I don't want to age. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, you're a guy. We're not like real hardcore on. Oh, it's my age. What's my age?
yeah.
Are you
How
older?
old do you
Or,
think, how old do you think I am?
I'm thinking you 30s.
Oh, I'll take that, man.
Well, look at that face, man. You got
Let's
great skin.
let's call it 30.
All right.
I turned 42 this last January.
Oh, you're a baby. That's cute.
42, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're my brother's age.
Oh yeah?
A little baby. Yeah, I'm 10 years older than he is. I'll be 52 this year. But I like just to get an idea of what round when you were getting these bikes and stuff. Because
Yeah.
bikes, it's funny when you get a new bike or a bike, we're talking BMX. When I was a kid, and this was 10 years before you, I had a Schwinn Predator, and I've mentioned this before.
I remember that thing.
1982 Schwinn Predator, it cost $200. And back then, $200, man,
That's a lot of money.
was bank. And my parents, because I saw it in the back of Boys Life magazine, and it was just the chrome and everything. It was the plastic black seat and the little bend in the handlebars. And
Yeah.
I just, ever since then, I've loved bikes, but that was the bike that got me like loving bikes. and I've
That's
been ever since have owned a bike. I've never been without.
You know what bike I really loved, and I never owned it, but so growing up, there's always that one friend that is just like head and shoulders above everybody else, right? He could like bunny hop higher, he could do 360s,
Yeah.
he could do it all. So my buddy Jesse Woolenweber, when we were all growing up and going to high school, he had an Elf double cross. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh,
It was an Elf double cross bike.
no.
And the Elves were known for being very light bikes. And then this particular one had like two, what is that called? The chainstay, like near the bottom bars that go out to the dropouts. It had two bars instead of one. And so they called it
wow.
double cross. And that bike was so cool, man. It was so cool. And always wanted to ride an Elf, never had one, but I really love that thing.
Well, I'm sorry. My wife is printing something.
That's okay.
I'm like, she's down. I'm like, I'm sitting here. There's all this noise. There's a printer next to me, and she's downstairs printing from her phone.
I can't hear it.
It's like she's laughing now. She thinks it's funny that she's ruining my interview.
She's doing the taxes, man.
Look, this is something we all need to buy BMX bikes. And I've been wanting to buy that Schwinn Predator for years, but I'm now 6'1", 230 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
I tried going back to a BMX like a year into mountain biking. My neighbor just had it hanging up in his garage. It was a Haro, and
he's like, Haro Revo 9.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting rid of this, and do you want it? And I said, yeah, I'll take it. I ended up buying it from him. I don't remember how much, but it was a burly bike. Like it had the thicker axles and it had a gyro on it. And I took it out to Temecula they have like a pump track and like a skate park there.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I almost killed myself. It's just, it does not work anymore. It's such a small frame. And when you're used to full squish, and then you go to a BMX bike and you go off of a concrete jump and land on concrete.
Feel it in your teeth.
Dude. I got rid of it like the next day. I was like, nope.
No, they got those big rippers now.
Yeah, I've seen those things.
They're called the wheelie bikes because I've never seen anyone ride two wheels on them. They're just kids riding wheelies with one hand, slapping the concrete while they're doing it.
Man. That's another thing I've never been able to really master is the wheelie. And these guys do it like in their sleep.
Never in my life have I ever been able to do it. It just drives me. Every
once in a blue moon, I'll get a decent one, but like to do it on command, it just doesn't work.
Wait, there's this kid that keeps popping up in the comments, and I just threw it down there. E-bike or a BMX? Which one would you prefer?
Oh, e-bike for sure.
You guys and your e-bikes. I just went full squish after 25 years of riding. So I'm going to slow down with the e-bikes, folks.
I don't have one either, Johnny. I'm full analog right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you go from BMX, you got a little bit of biking in your head. What made you pick up the mountain bike? Just because you live out there and it seems like that's the next step to do, or you missed it?
Actually, no, it was. So I thought my biking days altogether were over, right? I thought it was just, I'd never be on a bike again. And 2017, I had a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, Raul Esteves. He started mountain biking out at the Santa Rosa Plateau, which is a really nice place out here. It's got very mellow trails, mostly just flat stuff. And he just started doing it for exercise, but he loved it. He fell in love with it. And he kept saying, hey, you have to come out and try this. And I wanted to, but I didn't have a bike, and they're not cheap either. So he kind of kept, asking, and I think I ended up going out with him once, and he let me use like his old hardtail, and so had a ton of fun. And then after that, like I had the itch again to get a bike, and I started looking into what it would cost to actually get one. And my first mountain bike I ever bought was a 2017 Marin. It was a Hawk Hill. It was full suspension bike, like fully
Oh,
entry level. It cost me $1,400, and
wow.
my wife just about like she just could not understand why a bike needs to cost $1,400. And I was like, honey, like this is super, like this is entry level
This
stuff.
is entry level. Yeah.
I'm getting the cheapest I can find. And to this day, she just doesn't get it. Why it costs needs to a bike needs to cost as much as a car.
I just got that new YT Izzo, and
That thing is beautiful, man.
it's a fun bike. It's a fun bike, but yeah, having to tell her how much it's going to cost, and she goes, "But what's wrong with your bike? I'm getting old. It hurts." So
Yeah,
you buy this bike, and now you're full in.
I'm all in. Like, yeah,
You're
after
all
I
in. I
bought
mean, your
that bike,
first bike is a full squish, $1,400. You're like, I spent this money. I've got to show my wife I'm in.
yeah, I was in. I was riding as much as I could. Every opportunity I could get, I was on the trails, and um, just getting reacquainted with a bike in general, and then
Mhm.
also with a bike that has suspension. You sit very differently on a mountain bike than you do on a BMX bike, and so that took a while to get used to, um, and then I really wanted to get in the air again, and I remember thinking like, okay, am I going to try to jump? Like I'm 30 something at the time. I don't know, 30 uh 7-ish, probably something like that.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
you
know.
got kids,
And I got
family to support.
kids and all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? Like, am I just riding a bike just to ride a bike on flat ground or on flat trails? But like that is the funnest part of this whole thing is being in the air for me,
Yeah,
dropping off things, going off jumps. And it took me about 2 years before I like started dabbling with small little lips and trying to bunny hop and just trying to get some air off of any little thing you could find.
yeah,
And then slowly but surely, like just kind of started working my way up to a little bit bigger things and a little bit bigger things. And there was a few crashes,
yeah.
um, you know, mixed in there. And that kind of is a big reality check. And after after a big crash, you always kind of go back and question that whole thing again. Luckily, I haven't had any really, really bad crashes, and I feel like I'm pretty good about knowing my limits. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't do if I don't feel something, Johnny. I'm like, I'm good. I'll walk away from it.
So you don't subscribe to, and I hear a lot of people talking about this lately on the YouTube, is the pushing people to send something that they're not comfortable. Like if they're pausing, let them take a minute. The
Oh
whole
yeah,
peer pressure of sending it for an Instagram shot or something like that. It's just like you ride your own, and you know your boundaries. You're not going to get pushed into doing more than what you know
no,
or
I
comfortable.
totally agree with like letting people do things when they're ready because if you're not ready to do something, you're scared and you stiffen up and you just don't ride at your best because your whole like body is being motivated by fear. This fear is taking over. And I did a video once. I was out at HRT and I kind of just sat down and I spoke to the camera for a bit about this like little experience that I had where I was doing this trail that I'd never done before, and
Mhm.
these jumps kind of came up on me. I didn't expect them, and I didn't do them the first time around. And I was already feeling a little bit off that day. Sometimes you feel a lot more um, confident than others. And this particular day, I just was off. And so, but these jumps, like they were in my wheelhouse. I knew they were in my wheelhouse, but I hadn't done them before. So I go back up and I try it again. And I go off that first jump and I was still feeling really stiff. But then like this mental shift happened and the next jump was coming pretty fast. And I kind of just like looked forward a little bit instead of looking right down on my front tire. I
Yeah,
looked forward a little bit and like I just got this confidence that I knew I could do it. Like there was no question in my mind that I could do it.
yeah.
And then I just went for it. And then there was two back-to-back doubles. Very small stuff, but it was my first time hitting them. And I was like, something clicked. I was like, you know what? Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're not. And when you're not, it is not worth it. Just walk away from it. And you're going to come back to that another day. You're going to be following somebody and see them do it, or you're just going to come back to it and you're going to have done other things that are similar or even bigger than that. And then you're just going to send it and it's going to be no problem. But you have to like be there up here, and you just have to know that you've got it. And if I don't know, I just don't do it. It's not worth it.
I always say it's like 90% mental. I mean, there's so much that, like, there's days, especially when I ride a lot by myself. If I don't have someone pushing me, I have people, I got this one buddy who'll be like, just, whatever, do it. Not feeling it, not going to do it. Don't want to end up, in the ER. I always say I got good health insurance. Don't want to use it.
That's right.
But it's, right. If you're not feeling it, there are times, but I do like having that person that will, the motivation. Oh, like when you're riding by yourself, there's a lot of times where I'm just like, why ain't nobody watching?
Yeah. There's no glory in it.
Like nobody's watching. I can just go around it. It's fine.
Yeah. And I always think like, I was out at Sycamore Canyon, like on the other side, not where I'm building the trail, but the other side. And there's this huge rock drop that I'd never done before. And I felt like, again, it was kind of in my wheelhouse, but I'd never done it. And like, I'm out there in the middle of nowhere. And if I go down and like, I can't move and I need to guide somebody to where I am, it would be like impossible, unless there was like a GPS tracker on me or something. But, it would be impossible to like explain to my wife what valley I'm in,
Yeah.
And that freaks me out, like going down and knocking myself out or breaking something and not being able to get.
You have to walk it out.
Yeah. But riding with people definitely like changes the whole stoke of the ride. It changes your confidence. You want to have fun. You want to kind of push the boundary a little bit so that you can get a little bit better. And I definitely do things more often that are pushing the boundaries when I'm riding with people than when I'm not. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, because you're also a little bit safer.
You're safe.
Meaning you're safer. Like if you wreck, you got somebody to carry you out.
Yeah, to peel you off that mountain. Absolutely.
I got fractured. I broke myself into 6 months sick leave.
See,
that's what happens in Finland.
That's why he's the fractured rider.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Doc said I might
good to see you riding better now, though. So you get into mountain biking. Were you a big jumper on the BMX?
Not big jumper. I am doing way more on bikes today than I ever was as a kid on a mountain bike.
Isn't that amazing?
I've surpassed my abilities as a kid, which is, it's amazing. At 42 years old, I never thought that I'd be doing this kind of
riding
stuff.
Better. Here's the question I was going to ask, and I always say this before we do the interview. My train derails. You've probably heard that. Where do you live?
Riverside.
Like where's that?
Riverside, California.
Okay. Well, that's Southern California.
Southern California. Yeah. We're in the Inland Empire. We're about a mile north of San Diego, an hour, about an hour north of San Diego, an hour south of LA. Really close to like Mark and the Trail Dogs. They're out here. MTB Allen is like in Redlands. That's not too far. Even Orange County, like out in Orange County, it's about an hour drive from me.
Wow. So you guys just have so many trails.
Yeah, this is a good place to be for mountain biking.
Oh, I got to get out there. I got to get out there. I keep saying it. My wife, I think, is on board. EMT and Moto Adventures. Yo.
Hey, I met EMTB Moto Adventures at the One Chip Challenge that Riding Dirty had. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I talked about. Yeah, I know what it was. Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it.
I don't know if I probably saw you do it.
We did it, and it was insane. It was disgusting, but it was a lot of fun, man. Just such a crazy event. But yeah, EMTV Moto was out there. I have a little reel of him chomping down that one chip.
Oh, I did. I've done it once, and I am not a milk drinker. I don't know if you are.
I don't like no. Mm.
It's funky. It's drinking liquid from another animal's teat. And you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know that animal. Like, if I'm not even going to go there, but I'm not. It's just funky to me.
Yeah.
So I'm eating the chip, and all the pain in the world. And I have hot sauce. I've got like 40 hot sauces in the refrigerator in my second bedroom.
Okay.
Like, I do hot, but I was eating that, and it hit me hard. I don't know how it hit you.
It took, there was a delayed effect. I'd say like, I don't know. I did like one lap around the pump track, and then it really started to set in. Um, but you know what? It's not even just the heat. It was just nasty.
It
Like,
wasn't a good flavored chip.
no, it was disgusting. And I wanted to throw up for about a day after the whole thing.
Did you get the hiccups?
No, no
A lot
hiccup.
of people get hiccups when they eat hot things.
No, just like my face was just draining, like tears
Yeah.
and like snot, and just it was bad.
I did it, but my nephew was here and my wife, and I was just like, well, I might as well do it. I have it. I did it, and like, you're supposed to last 5 minutes. I probably last 30 seconds. And I grabbed the coffee creamer, the French vanilla coffee creamer.
Oh yeah.
So now I've got that nasty chip and I'm down in French vanilla coffee creamer.
Oh my gosh.
The next day was not good.
No, yeah, it comes back with a vengeance for sure.
My wife, this is my wife, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Did not anticipate asking. Yeah, somebody said you won? Trail Pimp
Yeah.
said you won the thing?
Yeah, I ended up doing 20 laps.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, that's, I don't know why you did it. I did it to get some prizes. I walked away with some cool stuff that day.
I endured. What would you get?
Oh man, I got like this really cool riding flannel. I got shoes. I got a new like custom top bolt for my bike that says like one chip challenge first place. There was like Zoic socks. That flannel was from Zoic as well. That thing is so cool. I love that thing. There was a ton of prizes. It was pretty awesome.
I think I would endure. Is it better if you know Bessie before drinking her milk? No, Seth was here. I see he gets the hiccups. Wow,
Yeah,
Seth was here. Do you know Seth was here? I think his name's Seth.
Seth was here. He's the man. He lives.
I'm addicted to his stuff now on Instagram. This guy's incredible. I don't want to take the focus away from you.
No, please, by all means. Seth was here. He lives like Sycamore Canyon. The other side of Sycamore Canyon is his backyard. Like he lives in the neighborhood that's literally right up against Sycamore Canyon. And it's funny because we started kind of seeing each other's stuff, and you kind of interact on social media before you ever meet. And I think the first time I met him was when we went out to HRT, and I messaged just a few people and said, hey, I'm going to go ride this place. It's really cool. Not a lot of people know about it. And so he went out, and that was the first time we actually met in person, and just the coolest guy. And he's killing it on
funny.
Yeah, he's so cool.
Funny. Oh really my God. Killing it. Hey dude, good job. Back to you, mister. This is about you. Here's the question. So you get into mountain biking, you fall in love with it. How does the family respond to it? Like, because it seems like this is a big part now. You went from not riding bike to being a mountain biker.
Yeah, and then I added the YouTube component, and that
was and then you added the YouTube component.
Yeah, you know what? My wife has been so supportive. She didn't get it. I think she's getting it more now, but at first she just didn't get it. Why I always wanted to be on my bike, and why they cost so much, and why I have to be gone for 3 or 4 hours at a time. And we, there was definitely some conversations that were had, and some give and takes, and some understandings that needed to take place.
Yeah.
But she's been super supportive. When I came home and said, honey, I think I want to do YouTube, and I think I want to do Instagram. And she was like, that kind of worried her. because it was going to take like how much more time, you know, to film and to edit and to do all that you need to do to put a YouTube video together, and then making the reels and all that stuff. And um, we have kind of made it work. Like I'm supposed to only put out one video a month on YouTube. I may break that rule from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, just because you got something, you got it up here and you want to get it out.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm just so impatient, you know, when I have an
Yeah.
idea or when like there's something in the can, I want to publish it. I want to get it out there. Um, but you know, the kids, they go with me they've been out to the dig more than once. Um, and my son will ride with me sometimes. My older daughter, she's gone with me to the actual trails. It's been a while since they've done that, but I think I might have pushed them a little too hard at the beginning and
Yeah.
maybe turned them off the sport. You forget like how hard it is to climb a hill if you've never done it before.
Oh,
You know, so I'm just like, come on,
come
what's
on. And they're
going on?
puffing. Oh, they're
And then
younger.
yeah,
They should
they
be
should be
passing you.
lapping me, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they enjoy riding bikes. We all have a bike now.
Oh, that's great. That
So we've done family rides before. I just put the little one in the caddy, and then we'll all go
uh,
for a ride. And that's like my favorite family outing, but not
flow or
there.
tech with the kids. Are the kids tech or flowy?
Flow for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you're dad. You want to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I've seen some of your videos. Your kid jumps, right? He's a jumper.
Elijah, no,
No, he's
they
just out there working it.
keep it, yeah, two wheels on the ground. But he was my first like trail digger, man. It was just me and him one day, just went out there with this harebrained idea that we wanted to build a trail, and we just started digging holes. And I just can't believe what it's become. You know, I'm so overwhelmed with the response of people that were just willing to come out and give up their Saturdays and give up their riding time
Mm-hmm.
to come help me dig and to build this thing.
What I'm gonna cycle back. We're gonna get to that, but I want to cycle back to you talking about doing the YouTube page. Did you, when you first started doing? Because I know when I first started doing that, I'm still starting to do this
Me
thing.
too.
A year and a half later, I've heard it best described as a time suck.
Oh yeah.
It just, when I came home to my wife and I said, I got this idea. I didn't even know anyone was already doing it. I just was like, oh, I want to interview mountain bikers. I love mountain biking and I love talking to people. And then you realize that there's a component called Instagram that goes along with the YouTube. And you're like, oh my God, I'm constantly like, was there like, what am I doing? What am I getting into when you first started it?
Well, it was ignorance, honestly. Like I didn't know how much of a time suck it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like once you're in it to a certain degree, then it's hard to just stop and to let it go. And so we've kind of just had to figure things out as we go in terms of, you know, how much time it takes to do things. And I've gotten better. Like my whole editing process has become more streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole reel making process has become a little more streamlined as well. So it doesn't take me as long to do these things. But yeah, it's a big time suck for sure. And like I said, I was watching YouTubers for a long time before and thinking like maybe I could do this. Like I was enjoying watching people ride so much that I was like, you know, I could do this. I could turn on the camera and point it at the trail. And
Yeah.
when I first started watching YouTubers, mountain bike YouTubers, it was like the really big guys. You know, it was like and then I found MTB Fiend. He was the first local mountain biker that was like riding Greer and that was like riding, you know, Vale and other local stuff that I was familiar with.
Uh-huh.
And man, that just was like so cool. I was like, okay, I know these trails. Like I know that berm, I know that jump. And it was just took it to a different level. And that's when the kind of the seed started being planted, like, hey, maybe I could do this. And it's funny because MTB Fiend, I don't know what happened to him. Like, I don't even see his stuff anymore. One of the last things I saw was that he had been picked up by Eminent Bicycles. And like one of the last videos he did, he went and picked up his ride, and the thing was so cool. And then like after that, it just went dark. And he'll do like some cameos from time to time on MTB Flow's channel. But I'm so curious. Like, I've never met him, but I just want him to know he was such a big inspiration because he was the first local YouTuber
Yeah.
that I saw, you know. And then from there, then I found like MTB Flow, I found the Trail Dogs, I found Mark. I actually met Mark before I ever knew he did a podcast and stuff like that. He was out
Yeah.
here at Sycamore one day, and but yeah, it was a long decision. It took me a while to finally decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it. And here we are.
No, it's great. And Adam brings up your edits are great. Seth was here, you know, you're killing the edits, man.
Oh,
And
that means so much
I
to me.
was following you on Instagram before I was following you on YouTube. And then I get onto YouTube and you're just what you're doing is they're really good videos.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And they're really just the way you put them together and your commentary and stuff like that. I'm always surprised because again, do this professionally. I'm horrible outside of doing it professionally, but watching just some guy with 12 kids and a wife, and it picks up a GoPro, and all of a sudden is like a really good storyteller and someone who's captivating, somebody you want to sit there and watch and finish the video.
Oh, that means so much to me. Thank you for saying that.
Like and I'm not saying it because you're on the show. I mean, well, I'm saying it because you're on the show. I wanted to meet you because you really got good product. What's the process do you like the most? I'm sure the riding is your favorite.
Yes.
But do you really enjoy the editing? Do you already have an idea of where you're going with it when you go into it?
No, like I've had to start thinking about that more and more. And my editing, honestly, it is like an amalgamation of watching so many others, you know, do their videos. And like I watch them and I'm like, okay, why do I like this? What are they doing that keeps me engaged? And I just try to kind of put some of that stuff into my videos. But I need to be more aware of the fact that when I do have a camera strapped on my chest or wherever, that this is going to be a video eventually. And I don't do that often because I just love writing. And like I need to start thinking about, okay, what's my thumbnail going to be? You know, I need to take a picture so that I have a good picture for a thumbnail. I need to talk to the camera more so that I don't have to do voiceovers. Just things like that you kind of start to realize the more you do this, you're like, okay, I want to go ride, but I have to be a YouTuber as well. And I have to think about that, you know.
Yeah.
And there's guys out there that we all watch that are so good at that. You could tell from their videos, the way they produce it, the way their intros, their outros, their voiceovers, you know, it's all done so well. And I gotta do better about that, about thinking of the end product.
Yeah. Who were some of your favorites watching growing up in 2017?
Growing up.
Riding. Were you like inspired by certain mountain bike YouTubers besides, I already forgot who you mentioned earlier.
MTB Fiend?
Fiend. Yeah, there you go. Were there others that you were like inspired by, or just you took little bits and pieces and said, okay, this is kind of how you go about? And
yeah, there was so many. It's always dicey to rattle a list off because you don't want to forget people. But
yeah,
there,
sure.
you know, I saw like Adam Mock is a master storyteller.
Yes.
MTB Allen it just kills it in his videos.
He's so
And
funny.
in his Instagram too. He's just a master at creating media. The Trail Dogs were just such a fun group. Like I I always had fun watching a trail dogs video, you know, whether it's a reel, whether it's a video, those guys just know how to have fun.
Yeah.
And so I was watching a lot of them. I was watching a lot of MTB Flow for his skill. Like he's just a really, really good writer.
Mhm.
He doesn't do like a lot of bells and whistles in his video. And I kind of like that about it too, is like he says, "Hey, what's up? This is the trail." And like the next shot, he's on the trail and
Oh, yeah.
he's going for it. And so there's all these like little different things. And if you look at my earlier videos, you'll notice that like I kind of went through a couple different things that I was trying. Like for a while, I had like an intro video that had my logo and some music, some like generic mountain that I've never ridden.
Yeah.
And then like I saw somebody and they're like, you know, get rid of all that. Like you want to just like get to the point, like tell them what's going on and then just get to what they're there for. And I, you know, started just trying different things, and I'll still kind of go back and forth. I don't think I'll ever have an intro video again, but
Have something in the beginning that where you
yeah, like
doing something. Just, hey, I'm here.
Yep.
We're doing, and that's what we like. Adam said earlier, you've got, you know, you're humble. You've got a likability about you. Adam, this is like an industry standard. Yes, it takes about an hour for each minute.
Oh, yeah.
If not more, if you work where I work.
How much footage you lose? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like for editing. It's like for every hour, like it takes an hour to edit 1 minute of video to get it just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Great video. Yeah.
Sweet, man. Thank you, Nick.
People are loving you. Editing is cool. Trails and nails. It takes a lot. That's another thing is when you're making YouTube videos, that's in the back of your head. You just want to ride.
Yep.
And now you're focused. You're like, like, especially with you, you're jumping. I say I'm not a jumper. I try really hard. I try, man. I get like a foot. I'm so bad.
That's where I started, man.
I'm so bad, but it's a lot of it's, you know, mental.
Yeah.
You got to be focused. You can't be thinking about, oh, I got to do this for the YouTube.
Oh no. Yeah. You have to be in the moment for sure. You got to be so present when you're jumping. But it's you know, like I said, that's kind of my draw to the sport is being in the air and,
yeah,
you know, throwing a little style when you're in the air. I just love the way it looks to like whip the bike or to table the bike or, you know, taking stuff off. And see, that's where I kind of draw the line. My hands and my feet, they stay connected to the bike. Like I've done 1-footers, but it's scary, man. Especially people that are throwing like suicide no-handers.
What now?
Are you kidding me? Taking your hands off
with 3-foot drops.
Oh, there's a video that was going around on Instagram of a guy that like just sends it big and does one of these no-handers, and you see the bike just like move forward, and he's trying to like reel
I've
it
seen
back.
that, and then just goes OTB and eats it. And
oh, dude,
no,
worst nightmare.
This person again.
Get your bikes dirty.
Don't they have a bedtime?
They do. What time is it? Oh, see, it's only 5:45 over here.
I'm ready for bed here. Okay, let me just shout out Backyard Shredder. Don't know if you know him.
Hola, friends. Hola.
Hola, what's going on? I'm super excited to have Wolf Tick videos here. Definitely try things that you like. Big fans of these guys right here. We got some more people. Man, I'm telling you, people are coming out of the woodwork for you, dude.
MTV Mini Bummer. Hey, I just saw him come through, man. What's going on? I think he might be the son of Fred who does the MTB Bomber Crew. The
Bomber Crew?
If I'm mistaken, please forgive me. But the Bomber Crew is another awesome group out here, veterans group.
Yeah. Quick question before we get to what we want to get.
Okay.
I know you're itching. You're itching for it. My wife was always excited about figuring out your Venacava.
Ah, the
Did you
name.
come up with it? Why did you come up with it? And who created your logo, or how'd you come up with that logo? There's like 10 questions there. Take your time.
Okay, so before I did mountain biking, I had a stint in paintballing. And I was just as addicted to paintballing as I am to mountain biking now, where, it was like every Saturday or every other opportunity I got, I was out shooting my friends and getting shot at.
I love this story already.
And I've always I don't know, just wanted to get people together somehow. When I'm stoked about something, like I want other people to be stoked about it and to do it too. And so I decided like I wanted to start a website where you could create a profile. It was kind of like the MySpace of paintballing. So you could go on iepaintballer.com. I don't even know if that domain still exists, but you could go on iepaintballer.com, you can make a profile, and then you could like set up games and let people know, hey, I'm going to be playing at this field or that field on this day. And then that evolved into me wanting to start a clothing company. And that clothing company became Venakava Paintball Wear. And I am the worst businessman ever. You do not want to go into business with me because I started doing this out of my garage. I taught myself how to screen print. I taught myself how to digitally design things and make designs with like, what do they call it? Vector art. And so I had some shirts, right? And I went to some local paintball shops and I was like, hey, I'm a local paintballer. Like, I've got some shirts. Can I sell them out of your store? And two guys said, sure, on consignment. Like, if they sell, we'll take a cut, you take the rest. And eventually I got so busy. We had Elijah, and I had gotten done with school and I had to actually get a job and be an adult. And I'm so bad of a businessman, Johnny, that like I never even went back to these stores to kind of like settle up, to take the rest of my merchandise and take the rest of the sales that had happened. I just kind of walked away from it.
You're just like, you can have it.
It was just, I was
That's
just gone.
bad, dude.
It was bad.
That's bad. How do I end this podcast? But do you still have I see you wear Venakava shirts.
So all that stuff is from the paintball days. I don't have anything that's Venakava MTB. That's, I think that would be like something that would break the camel's back, with asking a little too much from the wife to support me in that venture as well. At least, not right now. But so Venakava, what Venakava is, and it's actually pronounced Vinakava. It's actually like the big, huge vein that brings the oxygen depleted blood from your body to your heart so that it can go through the lungs and get oxygenated again and then go back out to your body. And so I'm a biochemistry major, and I loved the symmetry of that word. And the second letter of each word, Vena and Kava, was me and my wife's initials. And there was just all these things that kind of like were coming together. And I thought, you know what, Venakava paintball. I like that. I like the sound of it. I changed the pronunciation. And I figured, when you're playing paintball or when you're mountain biking, like your Venakava is pumping, like it is like in overdrive.
I love this. There's so much thought into it.
Well,
the V and the C and the blood and the pumping and the paintball and it still works out with the MTB.
It still works out. That's why I decided to keep it. I just dropped the paintball and added mountain bike, and there we go. And that logo is actually from the paintballing days.
It's not from Adam Mock?
No, it very well could be. It's not as good as an Adam Mock design, but
it's good.
Definitely drew, like I knew I wanted something simple that I could do like just a two-tone shirt with. So it's something very, very simple shapes, something that could just be one color. And I was very impressed. Like I surprised myself when I finally came up with that logo. And so the dot in the center of the logo used to be a paintball. And it's since been colored in, and now it's all black or all white or all any other color.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the story behind the name and the logo.
God, we're already losing people. Good night, Daniel. Thanks for coming. Johnny's going to burst. I don't know. Is my Venacava? She was so excited. She was like, the arteries are the ones that pump the oxygenated blood. She was giving, I had a whole science biology thing after you chatting with her the other time. So let's get to it. You like mountain biking, you like jumping.
Yeah.
You decide to, what? I have to do that to get, it gets too bright. You decide to build your own trail.
Yeah.
Like, where do you get off? Where do you think that you can go?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? I'm going to go build my own trail.
That came about because, like you said, there are so many cool places to ride around here. And unfortunately, like, I love Sycamore Canyon, but it doesn't have a lot of jump lines. Like, there's this one spot where there's a bunch of jumps that are kind of all concentrated together, but it's not really a trail. It's kind of just a spot. And Sycamore Canyon kind of had a bad rap. Like, people thought, oh, I don't want to ride there. It's kind of just like flat cross country stuff. And every time I ride there a lot because it's like my backyard too.
Yeah.
And you go, when you're climbing back up the upline on the bunker side, and I know you don't know what that means, but those who are local know what the bunker side means. You've got like this upper fire road, and then you've got like 4 trails that start from the upper fire road, go down onto the lower fire road, and then there's this up trail to come back up. And so when you're climbing that, there is this spot, Johnny, that is just like this perfect downward slope, and there was just nothing there. It was like this blank canvas.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how has nobody thought to build something here before? And I would ride with my friend Derek, and I must have told him like a million times. He's probably sick of me saying, I'm going to build a jump line here one day. And like year after year, I'd say, I'm going to build a jump line here one day. And for some reason, like, this was the year that I finally just shut up and grabbed a shovel and just started doing it. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of went out there and started. Like, the last time I had built a jump was, with my BMX buddies when I was like 14, 15 years old. And so, like I said, me and my son just went out there one day and just broke ground and started piling dirt. And I've learned how to, like, all the shaping and all of the forming the jump and how to make sure to pack it right. All that has come from this project. Like, I didn't know how to do that when I started. I've just watched a ton of videos, have been really like fortunate to have people see what I was doing and like offer to come and help. And luckily, like, they knew what they were doing. Like, this guy, Jake, he's really good at like making flow and building in like drainage for your jumps. Aaron Bernstein from the Trail Dogs, like, he's just an artist, and he's come and really fixed up this one shark fin that it was one of the first jumps that we made, and it's just never been quite right. And so he came out one day, and like in one afternoon, I just like gave him a shovel and some water, and he just like made it so good. And it's like one of my favorite features now. This guy, Adam Stout, he's a really good rider. Like, he rides with pros. And so he's been out there and, helped me shape things and think about the features a little bit different. And I realized that I was thinking way too small. Like, you have to move a lot of dirt if you really want something cool.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Hey, is it legal? I wondered that. Like, I mean, it's land that's there.
Yes. It's land that's there, and that's something that I've been educated on too.
Well, just, if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. It's actually slated for more warehouses. They want to build more warehouses and destroy all that, just natural beauty. And through this whole process, I've actually been put in contact with a lady who is heading up a team of like 200 people that are just like local residents and other professionals who are doing this just on their own time to try to fight and prevent these warehouses from being built. And unfortunately, like, you know, almighty dollar often wins out. And at the end of the day, it's private land and somebody wants to develop it, you know, that's their prerogative. But they do
Right.
have to abide by, you know, like certain laws that are in place, air pollution laws and endangered species laws. But it looks like they've really done their homework in terms of what's that word? When I mean they, you know, like because there is an endangered species there. There's a kangaroo. The kangaroo rat is
Yeah.
like its natural habitat. So in order to be able to build there and potentially destroy that, like they have to make up for that somewhere else. So they have
Yeah,
to
yeah. It's like if you cut it down a tree, you have to plant
plant
it
it.
somewhere
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And they've really done their homework there. So I think the best argument that can be made is the pollution, because Johnny, like Riverside County has the worst, or if not one of the worst air qualities like in the nation.
Wow.
And the more warehouses that we build or that get built, the
See,
more trucks that come, and just the worse it gets.
just upsets me. It's just like they're almost all of our trails, and there's only like 4 or 5 down here. They're always in danger. We got one where they're having meetings right now where they want to extend a turnpike, Florida Turnpike, into almost all of that area of one trail here
mm,
down here. And it's like, give us something.
yeah.
It's like, what are you going to constantly build? Like, here you go. Here you go, Timber Warrior.
You
You
think
think
they
they
would?
could fix up abandoned warehouses in the city? Like, well, why do they
Right?
have, if there's land we can build on it? It drives me nuts. You know this kid?
Oh yeah, Timber Warrior.
Oh, I love his
Huge
stuff.
fan.
He is killing it.
I got to meet him last summer at Snow Valley, and I got to ride with him. It was super fun day.
Ray Marcello, you know him?
What's going on, Ray? I don't know
Ray?
if I know Ray.
Ah, I think I just sent you stickers. Did I send you stickers? I sent you stickers. Ray's, all these. We'll get to your thing, your jump thing. What do you think about this community? I just want to bring this up because all these people are jumping on because they obviously love you.
No, they love you. They're here to see the Mountain Bike Q&A show.
I haven't laughed like that in years. Thank you. That was great. No, but like you're talking about all these people coming out and helping a brother out when it comes to trail riding. Speak to about your community out there. It just seems like it's another level.
Yeah, it really is. I had no idea how many people around me were writing, and how many people were creating content. And I discovered it because fatefully I ran into Mark Hill. I
That
was out.
kid. Oh,
He's the best. He's a magnet of just awesome people. And it was last year's rainy season, and I was out at Sycamore Canyon, and I was just fixing up some jumps that I didn't build, but just somebody else's stuff.
mhm.
And he was out there with Masayon, and like they had never been out there before, but the Trail Dogs group New Year's Day group ride was like that weekend. And so they wanted to get familiar with the area. And they found the only crazy guy who's out there with a shovel while it's raining. And he just said, hey, you know, we're trying to figure out where to go. And he didn't lead out with, you know, oh, I have a podcast or anything like that. Just super like chill, humble guy. Just I'm out here with my son. And I said, yeah, let me show you some stuff. And so we rode for a little bit. His chain broke, and we like cobbled it back together. Like we didn't have the right tools, or we didn't have a chain link, but we somehow were able to get it to work to get him back to his car. And so he ended up mentioning, like at the end of our ride, he said, hey, I'm a Tasco ambassador. He said, let me send you a pair of gloves. I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. And then he's like, I've got this podcast. And he said, we're out here because the trail dogs are going to be doing this thing. And he's like, you should come. And so I was like, okay, cool. I'll go.
I'll
And
jump.
I showed up on New Year's Day, and it was like over 150 people were there.
Wow.
And they were all there to ride, the Sycamore Canyon, which I ride like all the time. But the whole day, it was like meeting one after another of people that just were so into the sport like me. And like everybody's first or second question was like, hey, what's your Instagram? I'm like, what's an Instagram?
Really?
I didn't have
At that time, you were like, I
Mm-mm.
just ride a bike. Do I need an Instagram?
What do I need an Instagram for? And so like that's when my eyes were open that there was this whole community around me that I just like had no idea about. And they were having these group rides, and they were creating videos, and they were building these jump lines and having jump jams and all of this cool stuff. And I was just like, okay, I have to jump on this bandwagon. And I consciously like didn't jump on the social media wagon when it started up. I was like, I can tell that this is going to be a time suck, and I have a pretty addictive personality. And I just consciously said, I'm not going to do Facebook. I'm not going to do Instagram or any of these other things that come along. But that day changed my mind.
It hit you in the face. You're like, I kind of need to if I'm going to be a creator.
If I want to be, well, and I wasn't even thinking about creating at the time. I was just thinking about connecting with other mountain bikers.
Connecting, getting with them. It's so, God, I really need to move there.
That would be awesome.
So, okay, so I'm looking over here, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, folks, if I skip. I'm just really into this guy that I'm talking to. Let's get back to your trail. So how long did it, hold on, you know what? Let's, where do we got it? Can we take a look at some of it?
Oh, yeah.
Would you mind?
If you scroll down a little bit, there's this really cool one that we have some drone footage.
Look at this.
My Alibi came out. This is one that GoPro, you know how GoPro will like their AI will just create a video out of your footage?
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Is this it?
This is part of the trail, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. I think it's a little bit, it's higher now. I think we've gone too far down.
It's higher now. Is it the one where you throw a ball down it and it shows the flow? Is this it?
I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it.
Now, how long is this trail?
It's not that long. It's really just a connector trail to an existing trail. Like, you can take this option and skip a big roundabout that's called the Ammo Gully Trail. And this thing just kind of shortcuts it and puts you back onto the Ammo Gully Trail. Now,
you say that this isn't very long. I'm watching just that. There's that one with the ditch, and I joked with you I would end up in the ditch. You just bury me there. That alone is a lot of work. Like, how long did it take you to get this trail going?
We started last, I think, end of October, beginning of November last year was like the first time I was out there with a shovel.
Wow. And did you start it by yourself, or did you grab your kid and said, could you grab that thing of water, shovel, and could you help your dad do something?
Follow me out here.
Yeah.
The day one was just me. And then day two, he was out there with me, and we started the second jump, the pit jump, the one with the big pit in it.
You're the one I'd end up in.
He was out there. He was out there with me for the beginning of that. And that pit was already there, by the way. We just made it deeper, but we didn't create that pit.
I think it was this video.
This is the one where.
Is that the whale tail that you had?
Yeah. Aaron came and he just fixed that thing up, and it's running so good now.
What do you what feature? Yeah, I'm so eating so much dirt. I'm going out with concussion, a couple broken fingers, maybe a rib. What's your favorite feature? I mean, you built it. You probably built one for you. You know,
Yeah, I think, I think it would either be that shark fin or the jump where you land on the big rock. Those two are features that I love how they came out. I love how we're able to use the terrain
mhm.
and build, build to complement the terrain that's already there. Um, the landing of that shark fin was already like this natural step that was there. So we just kind of dug it out and smoothed it out. And then the one where you jump onto the boulder and the boulder is your landing, that one,
Wow.
was one of those things where like you envision it. And then when
Uh,
you build it and it just works out kind of like exactly how you wanted it to, it's a really cool feeling.
look at the craftsmanship. The berms on this thing
Oh,
are so tight, and look at that. That's
that's
like artwork. Like, but you see all these people helping you out, and they're all got their helmets on, so they're like, "Well, can we try it now? Are we allowed to try it now?"
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to build something and then to get to write it. And when it works, oh man, it's such a cool feeling.
And do you have and I'm sure you have a crew of people you'd like
It's
to
getting
throw their names out of like huge helpers.
Yes, it's getting bigger and bigger. And I've had to actually like physically create a list because the day of the ride, I want to give these guys a huge shout out. I'm working on a reel right now to also highlight them and thank them for all the work that they've done. I just could not have done this without them. I realize that now. When I first started it, thinking I'm just going to build this trail, it just would not have happened without the help of all these people. Um, let me can you still hear me?
Yeah, I totally hear you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see now. I'm at the point where I'm like trying to go through the comments and look at your Instagram at the same time. Look at that. Now is this? Look at this. This is so. And how long is it again? You say
Uh,
it's not long. It's
it's
probably half a mile, quarter mile.
yeah, quarter mile maybe. Quarter mile, between quarter mile and half mile.
Look at that.
But yeah, these guys are the stars.
No,
I've
stop
got
it. You had now. Did you? I'm an overload. My ADHD is going all over the place now. Um, I'm gonna have to remove that real quick. Back to the features and stuff. Did you have a plan, a drawing out at first?
No. I had a rough idea in my head of like where the trail was going to go. And that was again just based on the terrain. Because when you're building a trail, you want to avoid having to go up because you lose all your speed and momentum if you
Yeah.
have to pedal up. And so you kind of let the land tell you where the trail needs to go. You just follow its meanderings and you follow its down, 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 down. And there was one major change that was made because when I was looking at it from the very top, I thought, okay, I'm going to go here. We're going to make a turn there, make a turn over there. And then when we actually got there, I realized that there was just a slight um, incline and you were going to lose all your speed there. And so I decided to cut it and make where the Mora gap is. It's like the biggest gap in the line. That's
Uh,
where we ended up turning the trail because it was more downhill. And so that's what you got to do. You got to just let the terrain tell you where the trail needs to
where
be.
to go.
Yeah.
Now it's done.
It's close to being done.
Come on, man. What's taking you so long? It's like 6 months later.
Well, because we keep adding things. Like
You keep adding things.
yeah, it would have been done for like the original idea. But I've got some visionary people, and they're like, "Man, we could do this here, we could do that there." And one of them, like the rock, the tabletop jump after the rock, the boulder gap.
Where
Um,
is
so that's the
that
boulder
right
gap.
there?
That's
That
the
was
big.
Back up. You moved too quick. What are you making a reel here?
Yeah, that's a reel.
Yeah, no, I just think it's funny. I think everyone just could deal with movies that are 60 seconds long. Right there. It was back there.
That one, and then the one that is jumped right after. So if it'll go back around.
It'll go back around. It'll go back around. There's so much. Hold on, here it is. Boom.
That one, and then this one. There is a jump now in between those two jumps. That's a big, huge tabletop where we dug down into the ground about 3 feet and took all that dirt and just put it up on top and built this big tabletop jump out of it. And that was Jake's idea.
Oh, that's not it. Sorry. I was going nuts on your.
Okay, right here. You
Which
see
one?
right next to my daughter. You
This
see
one?
that big old pit that we that trench that we dug. It'll get to it. That right there.
Yeah.
All that we dug that out. And
I am muy impressivoed.
I am too.
With, I had you were there with the trail. I had the trail builder from down here.
Who was that?
Amelia Antonio, and he was a trail builder at Amelia here.
Yes.
And he's got front loaders or whatever. And how long does it take to get from your house to this trail to carry water and shovels and what have you?
It takes me about 15 minutes on my bike.
Okay, never mind then. I was going to feel sorry for you, but never mind.
No. Yeah, it's really close. But hauling 10 gallons of water is still not fun.
And you had a little thing attached to the back of your bike, and what dedication! What I dislike you more and more I talk to you because you're one of those people that do. What I mean, I love you, and I think you're a great person, and I'm glad to have met you, and I think you're doing great work.
This is Amelia. She's our youngest.
Amelia?
Yeah, Amelia. You say hi.
How you hi. Thanks for letting me talk to your dad. Would you come tell him it's dinner time?
No, it's probably bath time, right? You got to go take a bath soon?
That's right. I have to take a bath. My wife says I stink.
Okay. Go take a bath.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my wife, and I always say that I'm kidding, honey. I love you dearly. Exactly. Kudos on the energy.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, hi,
The
Mama.
entire day in bed. Yeah, we spent I don't know. Have you done this since you've built this trail? My wife and I decided to do nothing one day.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you can play that game. There we go. It's in the dark. We spent the entire day, Saturday, in bed. We didn't get out of bed till 6 p.m.
That sounds awesome.
You need everyone. And this isn't about your trails. This isn't about riding a bike. Folks, if you're in the comment section, do that. Take a day for you and rest. It's so amazing.
Those days are few and far between for April right now.
Do it right now. Gosh darn it. Everybody, we get excited about this. Okay. Stickers are my wife and her sticker question. Do you have stickers?
I do. I have some stickers. Yeah.
Okay. Because my wife just thinks it's funny because I've got a drawer.
There's some right there.
Full of stickers, and I'm going to want one of yours. I'm going to create something here. I'm going to be like you and build something.
Awesome.
Some kind of backdrop and post everyone's stickers. What's your reaction from the people that have ridden your trail so far?
Those that have ridden it, I've gotten some good feedback. There's some people that will move some sandbags from time to time, maybe ride it when they're not supposed to, but
oh, really? Like you've had it blocked off right now for
yeah. We blocked portions of it off that we're still working on. It's really tough when you build a jump and it hasn't really settled and it hasn't dried, so it hasn't hardened. And if you go at it, you're gonna, create ruts and kind of destroy the jump and the feature. And so we'll put blocks in the way And if
Yeah.
you're a mountain biker and you're kind of in the community, you know what that means.
You know, not to, yeah.
Yeah. But
And people don't want to
others,
respect the fact that you created this and it's not ready. Don't tread on it yet.
yeah.
Still settling. Have you had to go fix anything?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had to fix things a few times actually. There was one of the days like it wasn't even a mountain bike. You could tell it was like moto, or maybe like one of those electric like motorcycles that you see people ride, Surons,
Uh-huh.
I think they call them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you could tell it was just like this big fat tread that just went right off the jump, and we had to
That's
come in
got to
and fix
anger
that.
you a little bit.
It does, but you know what? I get it to a point. I rode for 4 years before I ever picked up a shovel, before I even thought about picking up a shovel and contributing. And I would see things and I'd be like, man, that looks cool. And I was like, oh, somebody accidentally left the sandbag in the way. Let me just move this so I can hit this.
Yeah.
But you learn to appreciate other people's work when you get out and build. That's why, like, I'm a huge proponent of getting out there and getting involved now, just because I know what it's done to me, and I know like how much I appreciate a trail. Like when I see a trail now, I just can imagine the amount of work that's gone into it, and you just have kind of a different respect for the trail and a profound like gratitude for those that went out there and created this thing. And you don't even have to know how to dig. Like that's what's so cool about like all the guys that have come out. There's a few of them that kind of knew what they were doing, but a lot of them were like, hey man, I want to help. I don't know what I'm doing, but like you tell me where to put dirt and I'll put it there. And like they would just come out, and it was so cool to see that. And you don't need to know how to build a trail. You just need to be willing to work, and you figure it out as you go. So
God, man, it's just, and when you look at it, when you sit back and you see it from a distance, is there something in you go, you seem like a humble guy, but you like,
not for me, for the guys that are out there helping me, because
no, shut the front door. You came up with it.
I didn't come up with every feature though. It really has been a collaboration. Like I came up with the first maybe 2 jumps, and then since then people have been out pretty consistently, and we just talk about it when we're out there. We're looking at the land and we're looking at like we've done a lot of retweaking, because I didn't start testing it till we were pretty deep into it.
Mhm.
And then we started writing it and we're like, ooh, that doesn't flow well. And we got to change this. And like that huge trench that you see in those videos right
Yeah.
before the tabletop, like that was built because we were going off the jump and landing on that boulder. And we were kind of going in a different direction than you wanted to go for the next jump. And so we're like, okay, how do we fix this? And people started talking about creating this big old berm where you can land really deep and then just take that berm and it'll make you turn the way you want to go. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like that's a huge project. And I don't know if we can get it done in time. And these guys were like, no, we could do it. And we just got to work. And so it's cool. Like you asked me, what does it feel like? And it does feel really great. Like now when I stand up at the top and I see all the features, and I hear like people will show up and they'll ask if they can hit some stuff while we're working on it, and they'll hit it and like they'll just be super excited about it. And that's just the best. It's cool to be able to write it yourself too, but when others come and write it and you can just hear it in their voice and in their squeals,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah man, we nailed it. So
We did it.
that's really cool.
What's the trail's name now?
I'm glad you asked. That's actually
Is that up in the air?
it's going to be a big part of the group ride that day. I don't know if you saw the reel that I did a little while ago about all of the prizes that are up for grabs that day. Liat, one of the channel supporters, like, yes, right here. They blew me away with what they sent. I reached out to them and told them what I was doing. Kind of introduced myself because they've been a supporter of the channel, but I did it through hookit.com. So I'd never actually interacted with anybody from Liat before. And so I kind of introduced myself. I said, hey, you guys have been supporting me. I'm doing this thing. And I want to do a giveaway. Would you guys be willing to send something? And Johnny, I thought I was going to get a hat or like some gloves or something. They sent me 2 boxes full of mountain bike shoes, goggles, helmets, jerseys, just like all this cool stuff that I'm like super jealous that, you know, I want to keep this stuff.
You're like,
I
they
want to
sent
win
me
stuff.
1, not 2.
Yeah. So like, and then EVA, another mountain bike group out here, I reached out to them. They're going to donate a bunch of stuff. And we've got like a lot of giveaways. So what we're going to do that day is, if you show up on March 18th, it's a Saturday. It's just a couple weeks away now, a few weeks away. And just come out, ride the trail, check it out. If you don't want to jump it, that's fine. Just check out the trail, ride some other stuff, and then submit a name that you think it should be called. And then you'll get a raffle ticket when you submit a name. And then we're going to do a raffle later that day, and we'll give away all this cool stuff. And then me and the builders, we're going to compile all the names that we got, and we're going to, you know, kind of vote on that, pick like the top 5 or top 3 names. And then that's going to go back out to Instagram as a poll. And I'm just going to let the Instagram community choose the name of the trail. Whatever gets the most votes, that's what it'll be called.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
fun. That's a fun little way of, and you've got your prizes and Hookit's kind of neat.
It's so cool.
I have yet to like sign off on anything, but if you're a creator, go to Hookit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing that, you know, Mark Hill, he did a video about that.
Yeah, that's how I got it.
He mentioned how a lot of people, you know, and Johnny, one of the biggest, I guess, drivers of all of this, like the Instagram and the YouTube, other than the social aspect, like this is expensive stuff. And like the more stuff I can get for free or the more discounts I can get, the better. So getting people to support you in any way is just, anything helps. So
yeah, it gets, you know what, this kind of stuff, it gets people, you know, excited about it too, knowing that they'll get a little something maybe.
Yeah.
You know, but so how has the Air Blair wants to see the boulder?
Can you show us the boulder segment?
Which one was that?
There's a couple of clips that have.
No, that's just funny dancing. That's how you pack the dirt. Was it this one?
I think that one will show it. Yeah.
This is so good. The drone. Who's working the drone?
That was Art Is My Alibi, Jerry. We're gonna have another drone pilot that day. That's kind of the.
There's my death.
There it is.
There it is.
Bam.
That's cool. Just a natural.
It was just a natural landing. And see, that is another example. Like, I was going to build a berm way before that boulder, and we weren't even going to touch that boulder. And my buddy Sergio, he sent me a message one day. He had been out there digging. Oh, that's the other thing, Johnny. Like, these guys will just message me and they'll be like, hey, I've got some time. I want to go dig. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not even out there, and they're like out there, and they're just like, tell me what to do. So several of the guys have done that. So he went out there and he sent me a message. He's like, man, there's this boulder out here. He's like, I just think we can incorporate this into the trail somehow. Yeah. And so the next time I was out there, I was scouting. I was like, okay, what rock is, because there's a lot of rocks out there. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And I just saw this slab that was just this natural landing. And I was just like, oh man, like, I can't believe I didn't see that before. You know, it's just begging for a lip to be built in front of it so that you can land on it. And then that's one of those features where you picture it in your mind and you build it, and it kind of works out just like how you imagined it. You know, we've added like the big berm on the side so that if you go deep, you can still hit it. and it sends you in the right direction, but it just works. And it was scary. Like when we were testing that out,
I was so scared.
it was a little scary, and I didn't do it first. My buddy Adam Stout, the guy that I told you, he's like really, really good, rides with the pros. He was out there one day, and my other buddy Matt, who's also really good friends with him, Adam hadn't arrived that morning yet, and we were like, it was ready to be tested. And he's like, yeah, you should just have Adam hit it. And I'm like, yeah, let's have Adam hit it.
Let's have him hit it first.
And he did it, and he made it look like it was nothing. And I was like, oh man, now I got to try it. And so I just followed him in. He towed me in. I followed his speed and went off the jump, and it landed so smoothly. And I was just like, oh, felt so good. It felt so good.
So there's this, where's the one when I got to go back. I guess I got to go back. I still want to just play this one. That lady cracks me up seeing it. Is this? I used to build lowrider bicycles.
Really?
Yeah. When I lived in LA, I got stung by the bug of lowriders.
I think those things look so cool, but they just seem so impractical as a bike.
Nothing but impractical. They're just completely ridiculous. Where's the one where you first try it?
The Rock?
No, where you first try your first. Look at that head of hair, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
It's gone.
Where you first. It was like one of your first.
When I'm testing
your first test.
Jump?
Yeah, the pit jump.
Yeah, that's further down still.
Oh, really?
It's also in a YouTube video, but
maybe that's where it's got to be pretty neat. I know you don't want to do this because it was a lot, but it's got to be pretty neat to sit back and go, I came up with this idea. Now it's come to fruition. And now you've got this ride. What's the turnout looking like for it?
You know, it's looking like it's going to be a good turnout, but you never really know until the day of. It's kind of got me losing sleep a little bit. Like,
wow.
Just because it could be very, very big. And I'm starting to wonder, like, if I've kind of created a monster type of situation.
Yeah.
My biggest fear, like, and it keeps me up at night, is that like somebody comes out and gets hurt that day. Like I really started to worry about that. And I've started to think about, like, should I have somebody with medical experience out there? Should I like notify the fire department that we're going to be out there March 18th? Like,
yeah.
if somebody goes down so they know where we are. I just hope, like, that day, obviously we're going to have like a little intro. I want to say some things. I want to thank some people. And I just want to remind people, like, look, please know your limitations. And if you're not feeling it, don't hit it. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. I just want to have people to have fun.
Good time.
And so far, like, everything there is, you know, if you like jumping and you're used to jumping, it's nothing like crazy big or like, you know, I guess the rock is the biggest danger, maybe. Like if you were to fall on top of it wrong, and hit it wrong. But honestly, it's one of the smoothest features. Like if you just have, you don't even need that much speed. It's very smooth, but it's intimidating because it's got a bunch of sharp rocks, and you have to land on a rock, and so that makes it scary. But we have really done our best to make it flow and to be able to hit things at trail speed, so you don't have to like pedal your heart out. You know, the gap after the tabletop was kind of like that, and the features that have gone in since then have been put there to help with the speed as well, so that you're coming off of something and you've already got some speed.
Each jump works off the momentum of the last one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Tumor Warrior says make waivers. See, like, yeah, should I make a waiver? I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of public property. I don't know if you're liable.
Well,
know,
I'm
this
the
is my
one putting
sister.
this together.
You built a trail with shovels. She's like me. She just dig a hole in the backyard, and I'm winded. She's winded. Done. You're building trails. It's just, it's admirable that you came up and you wanted to give back to the community.
It's been a lot of fun.
You wanted to, and you brought your family into it too. I'm sure. What was that like creating something like this with your kid?
Oh, it was fun. And the girls have been out there too.
I mean,
All the girls have been out there at least once or twice, and they they kind of will whine when I'm like, okay, mommy's going to be, doing this thing. You guys all got to come with me to dig. And they're just like,
I gotta go
I
dig
don't
with
wanna,
dad.
yeah, I don't want to go dig. But then, you get them out there and they're just like having a blast.
It's kids in dirt.
Yeah, kids in dirt. They don't know it, but they love it. They don't know it till they're there.
That's amazing. And has that been a source of some happiness to be able to share this with your kids and to have them be a part of the build with you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. And, they're in these reels, and those reels will be up forever, at least as long as Instagram is around. One of the things about the YouTube channel, like when nobody was watching, right? I don't have a huge following anyway, but early on when it was like just crickets,
Yeah.
I told myself, like, look, this is kind of like a photo journal for me, like a video journal. Like I'm not that good at documenting my life. And I think it's so valuable to leave something behind for your kids and for your grandkids for them to know who you were. And I found this medium that I love doing. I have fun doing it. And what better way than a picture? They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Now there's these videos that are going to be there forever. And when I'm old and decrepit and can't even think about riding a bike anymore, they'll always be there. And the kids are in there, and we're doing it together. And so
yeah, I think YouTube's going to be around for a minute.
I think so. There's something about this YouTube thing.
That's what a lot of people, it's funny that you mentioned that. A lot of people that I've talked to have said they first started doing YouTube just to document and to have a place to put it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like YouTube's going anywhere. It's kind of part of our lives now.
Yeah. And we have another channel, like just our family channel, where we put like our vacations and stuff. And, the kids now, we've been doing that for a few years now, and they'll go back and they'll watch themselves like when they were smaller and their voices were a little squeakier, and they just get a kick out of it.
That's cute. You got a family channel. Hey, I keep forgetting. It's too late now. Just hit the like button, folks. If you could, just hit the like button. It makes me feel good inside. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to me. And then when we're done, go subscribe to this guy, especially this guy. Forget me. Subscribe to this kid.
No, everybody
He's the one making things happen. Now. He's the one building the trails that we're riding. And that's, it still blows me away. Like you love this sport so much that you were like, I need to get a shovel.
Yeah, I wanted to build something cool at Sycamore. Like I wanted to put Sycamore on the map. I found myself traveling like an hour of my riding time. I'd have to get in the car, put the bike on the truck. I'd have to drive out to Vail or drive out to Greer or drive up to, up to the mountains, to the bike parks. And you spend like 2 hours just driving, getting to the spot and getting back. And I'm like, that's 2 hours I could be riding. And if I could just build something here that's cool and that I want to ride, then I don't have to, I can ride those 2 hours instead of just driving somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I feel about riding. Like I have a park 8 miles, and then there's another one that's like half an hour. But when you take into consideration, and there's one even further, a couple even further, and they're like, why don't you ride there? And I'm like, it's over an hour. So that's 2 hours just drive time.
Yep.
Then you got to stand, you got to talk to your buddy at the parking lot for another half hour because you haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
And then there's the riding, and then there's the, it becomes a day.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows where I'm at, I'm usually at Virginia Key. It's 8 miles from my house.
Oh, that's
Boom. You know what I mean? It's not backyard like yours.
yeah. No, it's a big factor, you know, and especially with, like I said, my wife's so supportive, but sometimes I feel like I'm taking like a little more than I should, you know, when I'm gone 4 or 5 hours, and I
Yeah.
know that she's back here with all 4 kids, and it it's hard.
Well,
So
maybe you should have thought about the 4 kids before you got on a bike.
yeah,
Honey, let's one, and then I'll get on a bike and we'll see.
yeah. We'll see if there's time for another.
No, it's what I'm still. God, you're just in. Now you're like I was so looking forward to interviewing you and talking to you and chatting, not interviewing, chatting with you and meeting you. Now you've upset me
I've upset you.
because you've gone above and beyond. Now, for people who are watching or want to watch and or want to go that don't know everything so far, what can those people who are coming here expect?
So they can expect a really fun day of riding a brand new trail that has only been ridden by a handful of people. We're going to have a raffle to win some very, very cool prizes from Liat, from EVS, from Jensen USA. We're going to have Spoke X wheels out there, so you can slap on a pair of custom wheels from Spoke X, like the ones that I got on my Jeffsy not too long ago, and you could try them out on the trails out at Sycamore Canyon.
Wow.
And I forgot about this. Like Farmer Boys is on board and they're supporting the ride. So like that morning,
Farmer Boys, folks.
yeah, Farmer Boys. If you go, there's one right across the street on Alessandro. For those that know this area, on Alessandro, there's a Farmer Boys there, and if you just roll in there with your mountain bike gear that day and just say, "Hey, I'm here for the Venicava group ride," you'll get 10% off of your order. So I don't think you guys have Farmer Boys out in Florida, right?
No, if you talking Farmer Boys, I'm like,
Farmer Boys, they're like this farm fresh hamburgers, breakfast burritos, salads. Like
I
it's
want a
just
breakfast burrito.
delicious stuff. It's amazing stuff. And so I reached out to them, and they're offering a 10% to anybody who comes to the ride that day. So there's going to be food, there's going to be prizes, there's going to be an awesome trail, a bunch of YouTubers and riders. You get to ride with the builders, like all the guys and gals that came out to help that day. My lovely wife will be out there. She won't be riding, but she'll be helping out with the raffle. So you'll get to meet and ride with the builders of the trail as well. So it's just going to be a cool mountain bike experience.
See, you should be doing this. This is how I'm about. This is because I'm dumb. But are you excited? Are you excited for that? I know you said you've got a lot going up there and sleepless thoughts, but you just listed off a fun freaking afternoon.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I
and
hope
you put
that
together.
Me and other people.
Trying to blow sunshine up your butt, man. Just take it.
It's hard for me to do that, but I want to have fun that day, but I know myself, and I'm going to be so concerned about everything going the way I hope it does,
Yeah.
and everybody's having a good time, and I hope that I can relax and just enjoy the day. I'm kind of like mentally preparing for that to make sure that I'm able to just have fun, just be a mountain biker that day.
Yeah.
So,
Are you going to ride, or are you going to be too up here?
I don't know. Like, I hope I can ride. My bike will be out there, and I definitely want to have like an initial walkthrough with people so that they can see the features and they can size them up and they can decide what they want to hit or not. And then I want to be able to tow people in. There'll be plenty of experienced riders there that will be able to run this trail no problem. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants me to tow them in, I definitely want to ride with them. So hopefully I can relax enough and be like present enough to ride and have fun and not get hurt.
I'm excited for you, man. It's like you molded this little thing, this little baby thing, and then now you're going to present it. And it's just, I'm so excited for you. I wish I could be there. I'm not.
That would be so cool.
I
if you were there.
I do want to plan a trip out there, but I've got something I got to do this weekend. Are you going to Sedona?
I wish. I've gone to Sedona once. I did it the year that, I think the first year that COVID hit, they couldn't do it in their normal scheduling, like around this time of the year. So they had it in November. And I ended up going with two of my buddies there. Hey, Mama, you took your bath?
Look at this. Look at those pretty little things on your head. Aren't you cute?
You got to go get a sweater, Mama, and get some socks and stuff on.
Yeah, because you guys are cold right now.
It's pretty cold. Like for us Californians, this is pretty bad. It's like it's getting like below 50 and we're freezing. I know that there's people out there that probably think we're a bunch of wusses, but it's cold for us.
It gets 60 here and we're in long pants and sweaters. I'm so excited for you. You got family coming in and out. I know you got family. You got probably missed your dinner. But it's March 18th.
It's March 18th, Saturday, March 18th. I
8 a.m. You know what? Even if I was there, I'd be sleeping in the hotel room. 8 a.m. How long does it go on till?
I haven't really set an end time.
It's just whenever, when everyone's
open,
done and just like I'm exhausted from,
Are you able to show like the stuff off of Instagram with sound?
Yes.
Can we show Jeff Kroom's promo video that he did? It's so cool.
Where's that?
It's like the video version of Adam's flyer, like in terms of just how good it came out. It's right here. It says Saturday, March 18th.
Oh, Saturday, March 18th.
Look at this thing.
Oh, that was good.
Catch you on the next one.
Those are goosebumps, folks. Let's watch the whole
thing. Isn't that
Catch
awesome?
you on the next one.
Catch you on the next one. Jeff Kroom, another guy that I reached out to him and said, hey, this was like early on when I thought I want to have this, like the trail exceeded my expectations, right? Once everybody got involved and it just became this cool thing that like, there's nothing like that at Sycamore Canyon. There's nothing like this trail. It's like very well manicured jumps and everything is flowy. And so I started thinking, man, this trail deserves like a big trail debut. We can't just like build it and then just let people figure it out on their own. We had to do something. Like I just knew we had to do something. And so I started thinking about, okay, how do we promote this thing? Like we need to make a cool video to put the word out there. We need to get a cool flyer. We need to get some people involved that, some big hitters that people recognize to bring people to the table. And I met Jeff Kroom at Sky Park probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And he recognized me, and I was so flattered by that he knew who I was.
Yeah.
And we ended up catching a ride down Arrow, I believe it was, and he was behind me. He caught some video, and then he made this cool little reel, like featuring me. And I was blown away by like his ability to create something that was just so high energy and so cool looking,
Yeah.
And when I thought about making a promo video, like I just immediately thought of Jeff. And so I called him up and I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is my idea. Would you be willing to help? And he was just like, absolutely, brother. Let's do this. Like, send me your footage. Give me a rough idea of what you're thinking. And similar thing like with Adam. I just kind of said, okay, this is kind of what I have in my head. Here's some footage. Take it away. And he's like, all right. And he came back a couple days later and he's like, all right, here's what I got. I hope you like it. And man, I was like you, like I was watching this thing and like the hairs on my neck were just standing.
It's tight. It's exciting.
It's so cool.
It's just well, you talked about like Adam again. Adam Mock created everything, my new logo and all this, and he sent it to me. And my wife was like, "What if you didn't like it?" But it's so good. It's like that trailer for your. I mean, this thing is so goosebumpy.
Yeah.
Let's play it one more time. Love the ending read.
Catch you on the next one.
Oh, I love that part. Catch you on the next one.
Yeah, like it's those little things that he just knows what works, what's cool.
Dude, I wish you nothing but great joy and happiness watching everyone ride your trail this week, or not this weekend, March 18th, 8 a.m., Sycamore Canyon. I think it should just be called the Venacava. I know, but is the other name the Venacava?
I think the medical term is the Vena Cava.
The Vena Cava. Nevertheless, dude, I can't thank you enough. I'm gonna let you get back to your family, but this has been a great honor and pleasure meeting you finally and getting your story out.
Dude, I feel the same way, Johnny. You've given me and this trail a platform, and I've been watching your stuff since very early on, and I've just been like a huge supporter of the Johnny U Mountain Bike Q&A show. I love just your quirkiness. You're a great interviewer. Yeah, you love the sport.
This is your moment. Don't say things about me.
It's all about Mountain Bike Q&A. Everybody subscribe and like right now. This guy is doing big things.
Wait a minute, that one right there. This guy I will never get that right. It doesn't matter how long. No, I really appreciate your support, but I wish nothing but great things for you, especially with your YouTube. I know it takes a lot. We were talking about that earlier, folks. YouTube isn't like, if you're thinking about getting into YouTube and you're like, oh, I'll throw up some videos. I'll start monetizing right away. Folks, not everyone is back here like Wolf Tick.
I got to check out this Wolf Tick.
Huge Wolf Tick fan here. Huge Wolf Tick fan.
Okay.
They do budget bikes.
Oh, okay. Kind of like
stuff like that, but they're a father and son.
Chicken Sendies does budget too, doesn't he?
Yeah, Chicken Sendies does budget. A huge love me some Joshua. Holy cow, we've got New Zealand in the house.
What's up, MTV nerds?
A little late, but thanks, man. Appreciate you staying up till tomorrow to watch it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
MTV Nick, always a great support. Go to your family, dude.
Yes.
Get out of here.
We gotta go take care of get the kids to bed. They got school tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off, so I get to go dig.
I don't even know what you do. I've totally skipped over that because I wanted to get to your trail. Thank you. Big fan, always will be. I owe you everything.
Thank you.
I'm a huge supporter. What was I going to say? Train derailed. I was going to say something to you. Darn it. I'll think of it later.
Good night and good luck.
No, I don't care about your luck. I do appreciate your support. And I've seen you in the chats and stuff like that. It's been great. It was right there. It was so important too.
What I did for work?
No, it was something else that I was going to say to you. I think I was going to tell you where the pot of gold was buried. Now I can't remember. Dude, everyone,
cliffhanger.
Hit a like and subscribe here if you guys like and want to subscribe to me, but
You definitely want to subscribe to
I
him.
did it right this time. Go to him, hit like and subscribe. Venacava MTV. Dude, I wish you nothing but great success, and I hope March 18th is everything you've ever wanted it to be.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johnny. This was a lot of fun. I was like vibrating with anticipation for this to get started. And again, you're an awesome interviewer. Thank you for giving me a platform, getting the word out. And it's going to be fun. I wish you could come. It would be so fun to have you here.
That's what I was going to say. That's what. Thank you. Train to real. Oh my gosh, you got to get your kids showers and baths and stuff like that. We're going to do a ride. We're going to do a Johnny U ride one day.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've got to. I think my wife would be into just letting us go out there, and we're going to have to do Sky Park though.
Hey, I'm a season pass holder, so you let me know when.
I've got another person in then. Sweet. Thanks, Kat. Thank you so much, folks. You know the tagline. It's right there. If you can, go get your bikes dirty, folks. Thanks a lot, Elias.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. It's good to meet you.